Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss about the polygraph, its background, the objective of the polygraph test, working principle, and what would be the requirement if we go for an ideal polygraph test. For the reliable polygraph test, what type of questions can be asked? We will discuss all these things one by one. First of all, we have the outline of this presentation, a brief history of the development of the polygraph instrument across the time would be discussed, and the definition of the polygraph, the objective of this test, working principle of polygraph, preparation for the test, and worldwide use of the polygraph across the major agencies or countries. Interpretation of the analysis would be done, and some of the question techniques and some real time cases of the polygraph being solved in the Pakistan. Now, the history of the polygraph. It begins in 1878 when the instrument was developed by the Anglo Mosso to detect the change in blood pressure in response to certain stimuli, and it was further enhanced in 1895 when modification of the hydrosphygmograph for the measurement of change in blood pressure and pulse of a suspect in question by the police was done with this instrument. Later on, in 1915, a systolic blood pressure test using stethoscope and standard blood cuff was measured, and first use of the polygraph to solve the crime was done by the John Augustus in 1921. It was further enhanced and patented by the Leonardo Keller in 1939, which was a prototype of the current modern or current polygraph technology. Few of the improvement was developed time by time later on, and now the polygraph is present in modern shape. How would we define the polygraph or lie detector? It is the test being used to analyze the truthfulness of an individual, utilizing the different psychomotor changes such as pulse rate, respiration, blood pressure, or conductivity of the skin. It can also be said as deception detection, and maybe of two types: counterintelligence or lifestyle polygraph. These two types would be categorized according to use by the investigating agencies. Now, the objective of the analysis. The polygraph can be adapted to verify the veracity of a suspect's statement under investigation against a crime. Can also be taken as an scientific alternate to the third degree being practiced in investigation in police department. Some of the agencies, private and public sector, has adopted polygraph for the security screening. Particularly, it is important when national security is involved toward a job nature. So, pre-employment, event-specific investigation can polygraph can also help in event-specific investigation when a certain facts is being known to us, but few of the factors are missing. Then the event-specific investigation can be enhanced with the help of the polygraph. It is polygraph test would be very important in case of sexual offences. It can also help to examine with white collar crimes, including cyber crimes and economical offences. It's supposed to refute the finding of ongoing investigations. Now, the working principle of the polygraph. Polygraph test use the psychomotor interaction of an individual. In normal polygraph testing, we monitor the blood pressure, pulse rate, respiration, and electrodermal response. When the questions where the fear or the some pressure points are involved would be asked to the suspect, he would consciously try to hold his feeling and these efforts to hold the feeling would manifest the psychological changes of the graph shown on the computer recorded screen. So we can detect the person is trying to deceive. The actual thing that provide the considerable psychological response is the fear, not the guilt of the crime. What should be the requirement when we want to have an ideal polygraph test? The suspect should have comfortable night sleep, should have enough food for his need, for his daily need, should avoid alcoholic beverages and illegal drugs prior to 24 hours prior to the examination. If the person is injured or have some physical disturbance, the test must be avoided and delayed until the person is would be completely normal, so that the reliability of the test can be increased. Now we discuss the polygraph, how it is being used across the countries. First of all, the accuracy. The general acceptance of the polygraph test accuracy is 61%, but according to American Association of Polygraph, its accuracy would be maximum up to 83%. Now we discuss one by one the use of the polygraph by the law enforcement agencies across the country. First of all, in Pakistan, both military and civil institutions use polygraph test for the investigation of the truthfulness of a suspect. The Japan is the only country in the world who use polygraph with the concealed information test to enhance its accuracy and reliability of the polygraph. If we discuss about the China, the polygraph test is widely used. Day by day, its use is increasing, but the Supreme Court does not accept polygraph as an evidence. So, polygraph is not admissible to the China, but admissible to Japan and admissible to Pakistan along with some other evidence. Then Los Angeles Police Department is only polygraph accredited institute, but admissibility in court is still not applicable, and they use polygraph for the non-judicial settings. In Canada, police use polygraph in their investigation, but Supreme Court of the Canada have rejected polygraph as an evidence to support the credibility of a witness. The rest, FBI, NSA, CIA, counterintelligence agency, and Virginia State of America, all these use the polygraph for the non-judicial setting. Every individual considering job in FBI will go through polygraph testing. Same is the scenario with the NSA and CIA. Now, the interpretation of the polygraph test. These four graphs shows the psychomotoric interactions of an individual, such as their chest breathing, stomach breathing, sweat conductivity, and blood pressure. If we go to the question labels C4, R5, C6, these are the questions being asked to the suspects, and then the interactions of psychomotoric interaction of the individual are being recorded on the screen and being monitored via software with the use of the software, so that the analysis and the record of the individual interactions can be have on computer. If we go toward the analysis of the polygraph test, it involves four steps. So first of all, the extraction of the data. Second is the transformation or the reduction of the excess data. Extra data would be removed and filtered out. Third, the use of the likelihood function, and the fourth or final stage would be application of the decision rule. These decision rules would be applied automatically in the software when we are using when we are having the analysis of the polygraph. Some of the techniques of asking question to the suspect for the analysis of polygraph. We have generally three ways of questioning. First, relevant or irrelevant questions. These are being asked when the suspect have complete knowledge toward the investigation or toward the crime he is being arrested. And then the control questions. In these questions, we ask uh, quite similar situations, which is given indication of deception or truthfulness. And peak of tension questions, when we are having a polygraph with the suspect, we can ask him some general questions, and after making him comfortable, we can give him a peak tension question. And the question is designed in such a manner that only one question bear the fact all rest close to the guilty knowledge. Most of the time, the use of all these approaches would be helpful for the outcome. Now, here is another question: can we beat the lie detector? Some of the people would say yes, because they think the if we have enough knowledge of the polygraph test, we have the knowledge of how test is being performed, and we have practiced enough, then we can beat the lie detector. But here again is another school of thought that think no, because if the examiner is expert enough and have complete knowledge and experience, he will not let you deceive the lie detector. These are some of the high profile cases solved with the help of polygraph by the forensic expert of government of Punjab. We will not discuss all the details of these cases, but an overview, such Lodhra rape and murder case of a minor, Kasur rape and murder case, Peshawar rape case, Glasgow couple serial rapist case of 2015, Greentown's dummy and murder case, hand cutting case, and lip stitching case. All this case was solved with the help of polygraph, and these results was also supported by other evidences. Thank you so much. Please subscribe our channel for more updates on forensic and other technical assistance. If you have any of the query, please mention in comment box so that we can have a solution for you.